and they'd never seen anything like it. And they said, do you know somebody named Elon Musk? I said, yeah, I happen to know him a little bit. He just endorsed me, actually, although he endorsed me a long time ago. But he still, to me, every day is a good endorsement from Elon. Nobody's smarter than Elon. And they said, could you do us a favor? Could you help us? We're trying to get Starlink, and it's very hard to get. Most people say you can't even get it. I called up Elon. I said, North Carolina's in big trouble. Georgia's in big trouble. They need communication. They have none because their poles have been knocked down and their wires are underwater and even dangerously underwater, but they have no communication. Elon, could you do something about Starlink, whatever the hell that is, Elon? Whatever Starlink, that's all they want to hear is Starlink. And an amazing thing happened. I got a call from one of the top people in North Carolina. I got a call from another great person in Georgia. And I wasn't finished with my phone call yet. And they got word that Starlink would be delivered to the States. I said, no. And I said, what the hell is he? What kind of a system is that? Normally you'd have to hang up and he'd go and call people. He did it during the phone call. What kind of a system do you have? That's why he's a very advanced, he is a very advanced person. But I want to thank you, Elon, because I got it. And I said, how does it work? 2 days later, how does it work? They said, much better than the wires. So now I'm saying, why the hell aren't they? You're going to come out very well anyway. And, you know, he also said, you don't have to pay me. You pay me someday when you get the money back. You don't have to pay me. He wanted nothing. He's a great guy. Thank you, Elon, for being here. Thank you very much. Great honor. Great honor. Thank you, Elon. And that's heartfelt. I can't even see the end. That's a lot of people here today. We're also joined by a great gentleman, a top, brilliant student. He went to a tremendous college and he graduated like right at the top of his class. In 2 years, I didn't know you could do that. It's 4-year college. Then he went to the military. Then he came out and he did fantastically inside the military. Then he came out. He went to Yale without the benefit of family ties. You know what that means, right? Without the benefit. That's pretty good without family ties. I don't know too many of those people. They had no family ties. He got in. He can't get in. And he graduated along with his wife. The two, they're not going to have any problems with your kids academically, I can tell you. His wife and him were like the top students in the class. But he went to Yale Law School, and then he went out into the private sector, did great. Then he ran for the Senate, and he did fantastically. He won. And he's like a rocket ship. He's like one of Elon's rocket ships, the way his career is going. But you see why, because he's a really brilliant guy. And you saw that the other night in the debate, right? You saw that the other night in the debate. You know the expression they have? If that were a fight, they would have stopped it, right? So I just want to thank JD. I was always confident in that pick. And we had great people too, JD. We have every one of those guys were great. Every one of them would have done a great job. It was amazing. But we appreciate the job you're doing. And he's also very energetic. And he'll go on anywhere. He'll go on MSDNC. I say, oh, he's on that. He'll go on CNN. It's like he has no problem. He swats them like this. He has no problem. No, it's true. You know, other people say, sir, I'd rather not do that one. I'd rather not do that one, sir. I'd rather not do them because they are, you know, very, with him, he doesn't care. He says, they're not going to outsmart me. So I want to thank JD. You've done a great job. Thank you very much. Amazing. Great. We have a lot of senators and a lot of people from Congress. I'm going to introduce a few of them that are really outstanding, and they are warriors and they're great patriots. Senator Eric Schmidt. Where's Eric Schmidt? He's around here someplace. Nice, tall, handsome guy. Thank you, Eric. What a great job you've done. He helps us so much with the Senate, and we've got a great Senate. We have to get a couple of more senators elected. I think it's going to happen, too. I think it's going to happen. We have members of Congress here. Dan Muser. Dan, where's Dan? Great job. Real warrior. These are warriors. Guy Reschenthaler. That's the hardest name in the Senate to pronounce, but I've learned how to pronounce it. Guy, thank you very much. Great. Where's Guy? Guy, thank you very much, Guy. Glenn G.T. Thompson. Fantastic guy. Thanks, Glenn. Great job. John Joyce. Thank you, John. Great. Corey Mills. He's out there fighting too. He's out there. He is out there in North Carolina, Georgia. He's out there helping people. Mike Waltz, who's a tremendous national security asset. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike. Okay, and a man who was my doctor. I got to know him as a doctor in the White House, right? And then before that, he was actually an admiral, and then he went to the White House. He was a great admiral. He was a great doctor. And I love him for one reason. They asked him in the White House, the press, the fake news media said, who is the most? He was the doctor for Obama, Bush, and Trump. That's pretty good, right? White House doctor for the three of us. He said, the press, who is the healthiest of the three? He said, definitely it's Donald Trump. There's not even a contest. And I love that guy. When he said that, JD, when he said that, I said, I like this guy. So then he said, you know, sir, he was leaving the White House. He said, you know, I'd love to run for Congress. And he ran against 28 people. They were all running for the Republican primary because whoever won that primary is going to win. I think it's a Trump plus 48. Whoever wins gets 48 point start. And not only did he win, he won easily. And now he's one of the most popular people in Congress and one of the most talented, maybe more importantly. Ronnie Jackson. Ronnie. Where's Ronnie? Where is you? Oh, good. Thank you, Ronnie. And you got a lot of talent surrounding you there. I think it's very important also. We're here for a reason, and that's to win and to honor Corey. But Corey wants us to win too. And there's a man in the audience that's been very much a career path, a little bit like JD, a great student, great talented student, and fantastic in the military. Then went out to be a tremendous success, one of the most successful people on Wall Street, actually. And he's tough and he's smart, and he's going to make sure you always have fracking in Pennsylvania. And he's going to make sure you have many other things other than fracking. You have a senator that now does nothing. He does nothing. And he doesn't fight for you. He votes with Biden, if you can believe it, like 100% of the time. But this guy, and you know, we're lucky that he does it. I don't know. He might not have done it if he had it to do again. I don't know. But I think he's just one of the most outstanding people anywhere in the country to run for office. And we're lucky that he's doing it, and he's got a real shot. He's doing very well in the polls. It's hard to beat somebody that's been there a long time, but this is somebody that's been there a long time and did nothing. He did nothing. And his name is David McCormick, and he's great, and I hope he's going to be your next senator. And I see somebody else I didn't know he was here. Mike Kelly. I see Mike Kelly. Stand up. Oh, boy, am I lucky. Am I lucky I spotted him? If I didn't spot you, Mike, I was in big trouble, right? This is a man who's beloved in this state, and he's fantastic. So thank you, Mike. Thank you. We also have some terrific people from law enforcement. Butler County Sheriff Mike Sloop. Thank you, Mike. Great job. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for your help, too. I could tell you. Thank you for your help. I can say that. Thank you very much. Butler County Commissioner Leslie Oshie. Leslie, thank you. Thank you, Leslie. Great job. RNC Chairman Michael Whatley. This guy is doing a great job. He's doing great. Came from North Carolina. We won North Carolina. He kept their cheating down to a minimum, and we were able to win it. And we were solid all night long. And he's great, but if we don't have good results by the 6th of November, I will never say that about him again. No, he's a great guy. He's working very hard. 24 hours a day he's working. I know that. And he's working mostly on Stop the Steal, because we have a lot of votes. We have plenty of votes. Stop this deal. That's why you've got to get out. You've got to get out and vote. We're going to win this thing. And the more we win it, you know, it's too big to rig. You know, the expression we use, make it too big to rig. You know, at a certain point, Elon would understand this better than anybody statistically. At a certain point, their cheating doesn't matter. And we want to make it too big to rig. And we also have somebody that's very special, the co-chair of the Republican Party, Lara Trump. Thank you. Lara, thanks. And, you know, oftentimes with families, they say, oh, you know, why did you put that one in or this one in, and all the different people. So many people have problems with that. In her case, everyone said, how the hell did you get her to do it? She has been unbelievable. So thank you very much. Comes from North Carolina, and I have a feeling she's going to be spending some time down there a little bit. And she's married to my wonderful son, Eric, who's right here. So, Eric, please stand up. He's a great guy. Eric has a distinction. He has gotten more subpoenas than any man in the history of our country by about 10 times. Every day Congress would meet, they'd send him a subpoena. What is it about? They have no idea. But I think he's got the all-time record, and he's handled it all beautifully. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. A friend of mine, a great, great businessman, one of the most respected people, and he made a big, big contribution yesterday to Georgia and a big contribution to North Carolina. Steve Witkoff is here. Hi, Steve. Thanks. And another man who's one of the greatest businessmen in the country, he actually said that if Trump doesn't win, this country is going to go into a massive depression. Well, I don't know about that, but he has been a very good predictor, I will say that. And truly one of the greats, one of the great pickers, picker meaning stocks. He knows what he's doing, and highly respected by everybody. John Paulson. Thank you, John. Great. Great guy. Now, we have so many others, and I won't do it because we have to really get out of here before it gets too cold for people. But I love it much better because there's one teleprompter. Not that I use the teleprompters too much. Isn't it nice to have a president that doesn't need a teleprompter? No, we don't need it. But this one was right smack in the sun. Great job back there, fellas. They said the teleprompters are working fine. Well, thank goodness. Did you see what happened the other day with the teleprompter with her? That was not a pretty sight. The teleprompter went off and she went off too. She didn't know what the hell happened. And you know, teleprompters are very dangerous because they go off a lot. You have to be prepared for them to go off cold blank. You'll have 100,000 people. You have 75,000 people. You have this. And if the teleprompter goes off, you got to be able to move. She did not move well. This was not a good situation. But three more heroes from July 13th who rendered first aid to Corey incredibly. Dr. Jim Sweetland. Rico Elmore, who was unbelievable. Rico, you were unbelievable. He ran over, National Guard. He ran over and grabbed Corey, and Corey was still living, and he was doing mouth-to-mouth resuscitation on a man who was really in bad shape like nobody's ever seen, and his family appreciates it, and I do too. So thank you, Rico, very much. Right? Amazing, amazing, amazing the people that we have. And you learn about them under times like this. That's when you really learn. So we're going to be seeing Rico again. And Ed Shear, fantastic job. Thank you, Ed. We appreciate it. Thank you, Ed. Thank you. Thank you very much, Ed. Great job. In addition, this evening, we have to send our prayers and support to all the families affected by Hurricane Helene. This has been the worst hurricane response by a president and vice president since Katrina, and this is simply not acceptable. Those people, I was there yesterday with North Carolina and Georgia, and I'll tell you, and by the way, the governor of Georgia is doing an excellent job, but we have other people that aren't doing a good job, and we have to have them do a good job, but the federal government is doing a very bad job. They are not doing the job, and we have death and destruction that we haven't seen maybe ever. It's a real bad one, and they have to get people there because they don't have people there. They don't have the people. Kamala wined and dined in San Francisco, and all of the people in North Carolina, no helicopters, no rescue. It's just what's happened there is very bad. They're offering them $750 to people whose homes have been washed away. And yet we send tens of billions of dollars to foreign countries that most people have never heard of. They're offering them $750. They've been destroyed. These people have been destroyed. The one young lady washed, you saw that with her son. I mean, pretty, I wish I never saw it, but just washed away. Your son was washed away with the grandparents, and so sad. And they're giving them $750. And think of it, we give foreign countries hundreds of billions of dollars, and we're handing North Carolina $750. If you want a president who won't even try to save you when the floodwaters are rising, vote for Kamala. She's not the right person. Look, you know what? If they did a good job, I wouldn't have run. To be honest with you, I didn't need to do this. I didn't need to. If I thought they were doing an even modestly good job, I wouldn't have run. But I saw right from the beginning, grossly incompetent, and I was right about that. And I decided to run, and we're doing really well. I was telling you about polls. We're way up in some polls. We're up in other polls. And with the swing states, I think most of them have us up in every single swing state, including the great commonwealth of a place called Pennsylvania. And don't ever not call it a commonwealth, because I've seen people call it a state, and that's the end of them. That's practically the end of their political career. You got to be very careful with Pennsylvania. It's that commonwealth. I haven't made that mistake. I don't want to either. It was not a pretty picture. If you want a president who will stop at nothing to protect you and your family, I hope you're going to vote for a gentleman named Donald J. Trump. Have you heard of him? Together we will rebuild Western North Carolina, rural Georgia, and every other state that's been so badly affected. That includes Alabama. Virginia was very hit hard. South Carolina was hit very hard. Florida. So many states. Tennessee was hit really hard. They were all hit, and we're going to work with them. And, you know, the next president is going to be the one that really, once they got to get this done. But once that happens, the next president is going to be the one that has to really help them. And JD will be there to help them. I know that. 2024 is the most important election in the history of our country. And here are the facts. My opponent, Kamala Harris, is the most incompetent and far-left nominee ever to run for president. You know, she's much further left than crazy Bernie Sanders. You know that. She wants to open borders. She took the most secure border in U.S. history and turned it into the worst border in the history of the world. Remember, she was appointed border czar. She says she wasn't now after 3 years, but she was. But whether she was or not, she was in charge of the border. And the other day I saw her get up and say, we will do this, we will do that. Why didn't they do it 4 years ago? Why didn't they do it? The damage is so bad, and so it's been done. She let in 21 million illegal aliens from all over the world, from prisons and jails and mental institutions and insane asylums, and they're terrorists at record levels, at levels we've never seen before. She cost you $29,000 a family through inflation price hikes. And now she wants a larger tax hike. She wants to go the largest tax hike in American history. There's never been a tax hike like what she's proposing. She's going to raise your taxes a minimum of $3,000. She's a big taxer. And she was the original creator of Defund the Police. I think for all the sheriffs over here, if you're a partner in Defund the Police for even 2 days, you cannot be president. But she was one of the founders of Defund the Police, and she still believes that, by the way. I don't know how anybody could, but she still believes that. And if she ever had a chance, there's a good possibility she'd go back to it. Can you imagine? Somebody's robbing our house. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. That's what they say. There's nothing. You know, they tried it. And you know where they tried it? In Minnesota with our vice president. And it wasn't working out too well. It was working out very well for the robbers and the criminals. That's the only one it was working out well for. Kamala Harris vowed to abolish ICE. She wants mass amnesty and citizenship for illegals. And worst of all, she lost, and this is maybe the worst thing in the whole, that nobody talks, the fake news won't mention it. She lost more than 325,000 migrant children that are now dead in slavery or just plain missing, probably never to be seen again, never to see their parents again. But this isn't like, this is 325,000 have been lost. She praised the idea of a 70% to an 80% tax rate. She imposed a natural gas export ban on Pennsylvania, which is killing your energy workers and your pricing. You know, you have one of the highest energy costs in the country, and yet you're sitting on top of a massive amount of energy that she doesn't want to get. It's been a disaster for your state, and now she's vowed repeatedly. Now, all of a sudden, she changed her mind. But when, you know, with politicians, it's always the first statement that comes out to be the one they want. So she spent 14 years knocking fracking. We're never going to have fracking. We're not going to frack. All of a sudden, a little while ago, she came out, I love fracking very much. No, she'll go back to it. And she even endorsed free sex changes for illegal aliens in detention at taxpayer expense. I don't think Elon likes that idea. These are not ideas that Elon Musk likes too much. And it was just announced yesterday in California, and he took this one from me. I'm so upset. But think of it, that the far less than average governor, Gavin Newsom, has banned any and all ID requirements from voting and registering to vote. You're not even allowed to mention the fact, Elon, you're not allowed to mention the fact. You can't say, may I see your ID? If you do, it's a criminal act. This is a takeover of the country. You're not allowed to ask for an ID. If you do, it's a criminal count. Other Democrat states are following. This is only so they can cheat. There's only one thing that you do this for, so that you can cheat on elections. There's no other conceivable reason. Kamala Harris is a radical left Marxist. She is a woman that's not respected in Congress. She was laughed at Congress. Nobody thought she could win. You know, they did a coup. Whether you like him or not, I'm not a particularly big fan, but we had a debate, and the debate ended, and all of a sudden they come to him and they say, we want you out. You're not going to win the election. And he said, I don't want to get out. He got 14 million votes. If you believe in democracy or a system, he got 14 million votes, and she got none. She was the first one out, 22 candidates, and she never made it to Iowa. She quit before Iowa, and now she's running, and that's okay. But, you know, we spent $150 million beating Biden, and as soon as he was down and out for the count, they said, let's take him out. We'll give somebody else to run. Never happened before. We do a lot of firsts, I will tell you. We do a lot of firsts. But she's a person that rated even worse in every statistic than any other senator. She was rated at the bottom of the U.S. Senate. She's destroyed everything she touched. But the good news is that we have a plan to fix it. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it fast. Nobody is going to stand for open borders. Nobody is going to stand for a bad military. Nobody is going to stand for education that's not proper. We're moving education back to the states. You're going to be running your own education. So we have, you know, in education, so important is what's more important than education, but we rank at the bottom of every list. They rank 40 major countries. We're at the bottom. But we're top of the list as the cost per pupil. We spend more per pupil, per student, than any other country anywhere in the world. So we're number one in that, and we're number 38, 39, or 40 every single time. And you have Denmark, you have Sweden, you have Norway, you have China. It's always a top five. Can you believe it? China's a top five. That's amazing. But we're going to move our education back to the states. So places like Indiana and Iowa and Idaho and states that you don't even hear too much of because they're so good and so well run, they're going to run their own education. And you know what's going to come out of that? A Denmark, a Norway, a Sweden, maybe, I don't even know, China. Can you imagine China with 1.4 billion people is a top five, and we're close to 40. We are 40 sometimes. Starting on day one, I will seal the border and stop the migrant invasion into our country. We will begin the largest deportation operation in the history of the United States. Dwight Eisenhower right now has that record. It's not, and by the way, it's not something I want to do. I dread having to do it, but we have no choice. What they've done to our country is not even believable, especially the criminals, the criminal element that's in our country. And again, all over the world, crime rates are down because they've taken their criminals and they've dumped them into the United States. And you know what? I would have been worse than them. I would have had it done even faster. They've dumped them into the United States of America, and that's what we have. And it's dangerous out there. We're getting them out. We're getting them out quickly. And we will defeat inflation, and we will make America affordable again. And it's going to start with liquid gold. We have more liquid gold, oil, and gas under our feet than any nation in the world, including Saudi Arabia and Russia. We will become energy independent like we were just 4 years ago. You know, 4 years ago, we were energy independent. Can you believe it? And then we were going to become energy dominant. We will be dominant within a matter of months, and we will make so much money. We are going to drill, baby, drill. And we will again open ANWR. Ronald Reagan tried to do it. Every single president from before Reagan tried to do it, and I got it done. ANWR is the largest drilling site anywhere in the world. It could be larger than Saudi Arabia, could be larger than Russia. It's in Alaska. And I got it done, and we worked to get it done. And one of the first things he did was terminate ANWR, and that was going to take care of all of Asia. That was going to make us so much money. We would have paid off debt. You would have gotten, I gave you the biggest tax reduction in history. You would have gotten even a bigger one. You were going to be just very happy. You were going to say, I like that guy very much. 20 million Americans are behind on their electric bills right now. It was just announced. 20 million Americans, they're struggling to pay their monthly bills at a record rate. There's never been anything like it. And it's all because of their anti-U.S. energy regime, which has caused Pennsylvania electricity prices to raise almost 50%. We will cut energy and electricity prices in half within 12 months. We will have your energy prices, your air conditioning, heating, cars if you buy a Tesla, which is good. It's good. We will have your energy prices cut in half. It'll be cut in half within a period of 1 year from January 20th, which is the day we take office. And that's going to save you a lot of money. And that's going to, in turn, bring down the prices of everything because, you know, more than anything else, people tell me about the groceries. The groceries are groceries. They use the, and what they're talking about is food. Everything's going to be coming down when we do that. We're also going to get your interest rates way down. We will bring automobile manufacturing back to the United States at levels never seen before. And we will turn the United States into a manufacturing superpower again. It hasn't been there in many, many years. We had it started 4 years ago. The centerpiece of my plan for a manufacturing renaissance will be a 15% made in America corporate tax rate. In other words, if you make your product in the United States, you get a rate. So I cut it from 39% to 21%. Everyone said that was impossible. I got it done, and we had the best boom we've ever had. We did more revenue when we had it at 21 than when it was at 39. Think of it, much more. The following year, we did much more. And then I'm going to take it from 21 to 15, which will make us the most competitive country in the world. Nobody will be able to compete with us. But that 15 rate only goes for those who make their product in America. They have to make their product here. Otherwise, they pay 21. And we will protect those companies moving into America and all of our existing companies with stiff tariffs placed on companies that don't move in. If they don't come in, if they don't want to make their product here, that's fine, but they're going to be tariffed. We have to protect our companies, and that's what we're going to do. The only way they can get out of paying those tariffs is to build their plants and factories in America. We may even be able to get Elon to build some of them. I think we will. And hire American workers for the job. We're going to hire American workers for the job. We will pass the Reciprocal Trade Act. If China or any other country charges us 100 or 200% tax, then we will likewise charge them a 100 or 200% tax. We had a lot of problems on that one with the Senate, and we're going to get that done. Think of it. They charge us, and we don't charge them. Now they charge us. We're going to charge them the same thing. Reciprocal. It's reciprocal. I will not let Mexico, China, or any other country sell cars into the United States to the detriment of our auto workers who will do better than they have ever done. We're going to bring back the car business like it was 50, 60, and 70 years ago. Everyone's going to want to be back here. And I will not approve Japan buying U.S. steel 70 years ago, the greatest company anywhere in the world. It was the greatest company anywhere in the world, and now we have Japan buying U.S. steel. I don't like that. We will deliver massive tax cuts for workers, and we will have a policy that I think is so great. No tax on tips. No tax on overtime. And no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. No tax. And you know, when you think of it, our seniors were hurt so badly. Inflation has killed our seniors. You know, they have a fixed income, and it just got worse and worse every week, every month. It's gotten worse and worse, and it's just horrible. And they haven't gone down. They've only gone up. Prices have still only gone up. And while working Americans catch up, we're going to put a temporary cap on the credit card interest rates at 10%. People are paying 28% interest, 25% interest. I will always protect Social Security and Medicare with no cuts. We're not going to do anything with Social Security, but they're going to destroy Social Security because all of the migrants coming in are going on between Medicare, Social Security, other programs, and nobody is able to afford it. I will settle the war in Ukraine. I will end the chaos in the Middle East, and I will prevent, I promise you, World War III. We're not going to have World War III. And right now, we're very close to having it. We will lead the world in space exploration. Thank you, Elon. We will lead the world in military, and we will reach Mars before the end of my term. Elon promised me he was going to do that. I don't know. Can you do that? Stand up. Can we do that? He wants to reach it. I think he's going to do it. JD, work on him. Work on him. Work on him. JD is working on Elon. Now, he told me that we're going to win, and he's going to reach Mars by the end of our term, which is a big thing. Before China, before anybody, right? And my money's on that guy right there. We will rebuild our cities, including Washington, D.C., making them safe, clean, and beautiful again. And we will keep the U.S. dollar as the world's reserve currency. It's losing right now. It's losing right now, but I'll be able to do it. Other people won't. I'll tell these countries as they leave us I say, you want to do business in the United States? You're going back into the reserve currency. And if you don't, we're going to charge you a big, fat, beautiful tax to do business in the United States. And they're going to say, I would love very much to go back into the U.S. reserve currency. No, we're going to save it. But these people aren't going to save it. They don't know how to talk. They don't know how to think. Together, we will deliver low taxes, low regulations, low energy costs, low interest rates, and low inflation so that everyone can afford groceries, a beautiful car, and a home. Very basic. It's very basic. We will stop the invasion, end migrant crime, strengthen our military, build a missile defense shield around our country, keep critical race theory and transgender insanity. We're going to keep it the hell out of our school. We're going to keep that insanity out of our school. And as I said, we will keep men out of women's sports. So demeaning to women. You saw that in the Olympics, they have female boxing, women's boxing, and a young lady from Italy, very good boxer, very, very good. She was all excited, but she played a person who transitioned. A male transitioned to a female. And the young girl from Italy, beautiful young woman. I'm not allowed to say that anymore politically, but I'll say it. She was a beautiful young woman. If you say that, that's the end of your career, right? But it's not. If it is, so be it, okay? We've got to get back to real life. But this beautiful young lady is out, and she gets, boom, little jab, left jab. And she goes back, oh my God, I've never been hit like that. This is just like a defensive. Then he goes, the corner say, you can take her. You can. So they push her out. Boom, another one. And she says, that's enough. I can't do it. I can't take it. I've never seen anything like. So we had two people that transitioned. Both people shockingly won the gold medal in their division. So it's crazy. And if you look at weightlifting contests, they're the best of all. For years and years and years ago, they put an eighth of a pound on one side of the barbell, an eighth of a pound on the other, and they can't do it. And the record standing for 18 years, they just can't do it. And then a guy comes along who never lifted before, and he puts 100 pounds on, and he goes like this, like it's nothing. It's so demeaning to women. We're not going to allow it to happen. It's ending. No men playing in women's sports. And we will defend the Second Amendment, protect religious liberty, restore free speech, and we will secure our elections. Everyone will prosper. Every family will thrive. And every day will be filled with opportunity and hope. We need hope. We need the American dream back, don't we? We're going to have the American dream. We're going to have the American dream, so every kid in your family is going to grow up and say, I want to be like Elon Musk. I want to have 200 billion in cash. I'm going to be like Elon Musk. That's the American dream. But for that to happen, we must defeat Kamala Harris, and we must stop her country-destroying, radical left agenda once and for all. We cannot have it happen. So you must get out and you must vote. Here in this incredible Commonwealth, we stand on the shoulders of generations of Pennsylvania patriots who gave everything they could give, every single thing for their rights and for their freedom. Pennsylvania is where our founding fathers declared American independence and sounded the beautiful Liberty Bell. It's where the Army weathered its brutal winter at Valley Forge, where General George Washington led his men on a daring mission across the Delaware, and where generations of tough, strong, beautiful miners and steelworkers put Pennsylvania spirit into every single thing they did. And from Gettysburg to Germantown and Philadelphia to Barron Hill, and from Brandywine to right here in Butler, this is the place where Pennsylvania patriots poured out their blood with the love of their country. They love their country so much. And so in honor of all those American heroes who came before us, we will press forward. We will push onward, and together we will win, win, win. We're going to win, win, win. Nothing will sway us. Nothing will slow us. And no one will ever stop us, no matter what dangers come our way, no matter what obstacles we must face. We will keep striving toward our magnificent American future. We will not fail. We will not allow ourselves to fail. From this day forward, we will always put America first, and we will take back and save the United States. November 5th, Election Day, will be the most important day in the history of our country. And together with the great people of Pennsylvania, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America healthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Pennsylvania. God bless you. God bless you, Pennsylvania.
What a rally. Man, what a time to be alive, to experience these moments that I say, wow, can't believe I'm a part of this. We got Donald Trump dancing. How long more do we have of these moments in our lives, right? Like these are things that are probably going to go away, you know, soon, right? In the next 20, 30 years, 40 years, when I'm like 60 years old. I mean, look at all these people dancing. These are historic moments that in 100 years from now, people will be talking about in textbooks about how the president who was almost murdered on stage went back to the same place less than 90 days later, right? Big moments, ladies and gentlemen, that we are a part of. Rest in peace, Corey Comparatori. Rest in peace to those fallen angels. Overall, as well as we have people overseas who have passed and serving this country because of endless wars. And we have so many things. Hey, he's busting the move right there. But Trump is in high spirits. I'm in high spirits. A lot of people are in high spirits about what is coming. By the way, it's coming in 31 days, 30 days away from the general election that will probably, change. As you can see, Corey Comparatori's, like I said, this just feels unreal, man. It really does feel unreal. Sometimes to really watch this really happen, for me, being on Fox News and speaking of all these things and giving the opportunity that this guy has given me. I've never met him, right? I don't know him personally, but I know he's given me the opportunity to really change my family's life along with you guys, for covering him. Countless stories about him. This guy is the news, even for the competitors. People that don't like him still make a lot of money off this guy. This guy is a legend. He's there. Hey, he's busting the moves. Hey, man, I never see so many happy people. It's crazy. Like he's not even, look, he's wide and open right now. Right? He's wide open right now. There is nothing protecting this guy right now. He's just not scared. If it was me, man, I would have been behind that glass busting those moves. He's busting those moves right then in front of everybody. There's he's about to sing again. So I won't be able to play this. I'm probably going to get copyrighted anyways, but he's going to probably be singing to close out the show. You guys can enjoy this at the RSBN network. Appreciate you guys. I will be back on tonight to cover the whole Elon Musk thing. Once again, go to RSBN to watch the rest of this, ladies and gentlemen. I love y'all. And yeah, man, so happy to be here with you guys.